Dust of Greece and the Acropolis Rally, Round 7 of the World Rally Championship. This rally is one of the classic events in the championship and takes place on the Greek mainland. The ceremonial start was in the capital Athens, but the action takes place in the hills to the northwest, centred around the host town Itaea, with the single service park in the shadow of Mount Parnassos. Day 1's 6 stages saw plenty of dramas. So far the season's been dominated by Peugeot, but championship leader Marcus Grönholm ended the day in 7th place after this spin cost frustrating seconds. Reigning world champion Richard Burns laid 1 place ahead of his colleague in 7th, leaving Finland's Harry Rovanperä to spearhead the French team's challenge in 4th place.
Oikein helppo sisältä 3, vasen goal.
Subaru also had a disappointing first day. Peter Solberg had a series of spins and lost well over a minute when the car refused to start after one of those pirouettes. The fastest time on the day's last stage then suggested the Norwegian still hadn't given up. But team leader Tommy Mäkinen was destined for retirement, his 5th of the year. Struggling with power steering and brake problems, he looks down at just the wrong moment. This dip drags the nose of the car sideways and the front wheel is ripped off by a rock. Helpful spectators then allow the wheel to roll down the hillside, leaving the Finn no option but to go and get it, adding insult to injury. The loose gravel covering the road surface penalised those running in the first few positions. Those further back on a cleaner line benefited. Thomas Rodstrom, for example, scored Citroen's first fastest stage time on gravel, while 2 of the 3 Hyundais battled for podium places during the day. Armin Schwarz, though, dropped to 7th after leaving service late, incurring a time penalty. But Freddie Knox, another stage winner, would start day 2 in 2nd place after a great drive. The day, however, belonged to this pair, Marco Martin and his co-driver Michael Clark. Fastest on 3 of the 6 stages, their Ford Focus led the rally by over 50 seconds at the end of the day. Their Ford Dino 2 handicapped a little by their road positions. Poor tyre choice and running in Solberg's dust at one point also slowed Colin McRae, while Carlos Sainz was unhappy at his role as road sweeper. Nevertheless, all 3 Fords ended day 1 in the top 5. Martin's lead was impressive by any standards, but behind the Estonian just 21 seconds covered the rest of the point-scoring places. The chasing pack was led by Marcus Grönholm, with both the Citroën Zaras in the top 10, a minute and a half or so down on the leader. Day 2 promised more dramas. Even hotter than the previous day, this shot of Francois Delacour also shows just how bad the dust was, although the main handicap was still the cover of tiny stones, which would clear away for the later cars. 6 more stages made up day 2, beginning to the southwest of the Parnassos service park, before a pair to the east, and then a repeat of the opening 2 tests, 159 kilometres in all.
From a co-driver's point of view, the most important thing here is the line, and to read the notes to position the car exactly where you want it on the road. If you get out of what we call the line, the ideal place on the road, you're going to get into trouble. And this is a typical example. If you came around this left-hand corner here and cut the exit of the corner, then this is going to take your wheel off. No question about it. That is the end of your rally. So you have to read the pace note exactly right, and that is probably one of the most difficult things of this rally.
One left, tightens, tight, 1 don't cut.
Is getting the cuts, the don't cuts, the keep outs, the keep ins, and all those little fine things have to be spot on.
Stage 7, Bauxites, was the day's first, 23.5 kilometres of fairly open track, but as the virtual spectator shows, it starts with a long climb before the road runs along a ridge and then descends into the valley again towards the stage finish. Baking sunshine and little wind would mean the heat and dust would be even worse than on day 1.
less than 3 seconds between you and Freddie. Can you catch him today?
Yeah, for sure, we'll try. These first 2 stages are going to be a good telltale of what's going to happen.
Do you think there's any chance of catching Marco today without him having a problem?
I don't know, because he was driving very well, sometimes much quicker than us, but at least we're gonna try, and it's also important we can keep the boys behind us.
Marco, you got a lead of 50 seconds, but you can't afford to relax today.
No, definitely not. There's no chance to relax. It's a long way to go, and nothing is decided.
Very long pass.
The top 15 are run in reverse order on days 2 and 3, so it was Hanken's Hyundai which was first into the stage.
Keep in, and long easy right.
A persistent electrical fault still hadn't been traced, so the car was down on power, but major work was planned for the next service. In Mitsubishi's case, it was the crews who were down on power. Their hotel kitchen had caught fire overnight, and the drivers and co-drivers had spent over an hour outside while the fire service tackled the blaze. A sleepy Alistair McRae was then only 15th fastest, while Francois Delacour was 7 seconds slower. Marcus Grönholm was in the unfamiliar position of being the lowest placed of the 3 Peugeot drivers. He though was 5th quickest on the stage and moved up to 6th place on the leaderboard. Richard Burns knew that his road position was far better than on the previous day and sensed his chance to move up the order. He and co-driver Robert Reed stormed through the stage, setting the fastest time so far, moving from 6th to 5th.
Left, the medium right was in. 20, medium left minus tightens maybe. 50, K left was in.
Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya were also determined to try and improve on their restart position, but in the Spaniards' case, things didn't go according to plan.
Derecha rasante que izquierda acá, posible cuarta, se abre. Para derecha que hay cuarta. Hostia, me engañó.
Madre, me engañó Luis. Apágalo, me cago en su madre, me engañó Luis. Apágalo, me cago en su puta madre. I have continued straight in a junction. I thought the road was straight. I stalled the engine, reverse.
So Sainz dropped 2 places to 7th, so small were the gaps between the drivers. Colin McRae though fared much better. He knew that Freddie Loix's 2nd place was within reach. Richard Burns' time is on your screens as a comparison.
And 6 right. And opens. Into 6 left over crest. And right tightens to 5 minus. And 6 left. Opens long.
9/10 of a second quicker than Burns, McRae was now the fastest so far, but what did this man do? Loix had been one of the sensations of day 1, but things were now very different, and the road conditions wouldn't help Freddie anything like as much.
Kom rechts, en rechts daarvoor kort, even links stop. En rechts daarvoor kort, even links stop, om 50 rechts uit, direct naar 120, flying finish. Om 50 links daarvoor. Ja.
Nearly 13 seconds down on the Ford, the Hyundai slipped to 3rd place. McRae's attack was underway.
We didn't make any mistakes, but Colin was just a little bit quicker, I think. Yeah. So okay, I had a good run, but sorry, but I couldn't go quicker.
But the rally leader was still to go. Could Marco Martin rise to McRae's challenge?
Left into 5 minus right, 23 plus left long, and 3 plus right, 20, 3 plus left heavy, 4 right, and 4 left heavy. 30, easy left into 6 minus right, 80, easy left.
No, 2.1 seconds separated the 2 Fords. It was in fact Petter Solberg, 17th overnight, who was fastest on the stage.
6 left half long, opens 15.
This time we'll let Phil Mills tell you the time.
14.00.
just how much time Sainz lost with his excursion, we'll call in the services of the virtual spectator. Solberg has already headed off into the distance, but Sainz is neck and neck with McRae and Burns. Then comes the mistake. And even though it doesn't look like much, just watch the string of cars which go past before the focus gets going again. That's how close things are these days, and that's what happens when you make even the slightest error. The position at the head of the leaderboard was the same. Martin still 51 seconds or so clear, but second, third, fifth and sixth places had all changed hands. Sainz was now seventh, fuming at his mistake, but 7th to 10th were covered by just 30 seconds, so there was still plenty to fight for. Skoda's challenge was led by 14th placed Henny Gardemeister, the Finn ahead of both Kenneth Eriksson and Stig Blomqvist, despite worrying about an upset stomach. They of course were all willing Freddie Royce to continue his day one performance, but maybe that pressure was beginning to get to the Belgian.
Links, rechts 72, min breed. Links, ik heb al lang gezegd, hè.
Like Sainz on the previous stage, that spin dropped Loitz to 7th, allowing Richard Burns into the podium positions for the first time. Keep an eye on the clock for an idea of just how much time that spin cost Freddie.
Long, 40, fast left in, and fast left plus 50, fast left minus in, 30 feet to right, tightens long.
This time Sainz made no mistakes. Neat and tidy on stage 8, he and Lewis Moyer were third fastest, snatching a place back from Grumham in the process.
Para izquierda corta de tierra, abrirse 1, derecha izquierda calenta corta, Sasar.
The next Peugeot driver on Sainz's hit list was Harry Rovanpera. Now just 1.1 seconds ahead of the Ford, his 206 suffered a puncture on the stage, which cost a few precious seconds. It was, though, still a 4.2. Colin McRae and Nicky Grist were fourth fastest, losing around 6 seconds to the rally leaders.
Slow 4 left over crest, tightens. Into slow 4 right. And left tightens to slow 4. Into 4 left, opens long. And 6 right. Into 6 right over crest.
But it seemed Marco Martin and Michael Park had risen to their teammates' challenge. Quickest so far, their lead had now grown to over 57 seconds, but there was still Solberg to come. The Subaru driver had climbed 3 places thanks to winning stage 7, now had one eye on the top 10. But one of the most bizarre incidents of the season was about to hit Solberg and Phil Mills.
Hairpin left, loose, tightens, 30.
Get the screw for the steering. Get the screw for the steering. It's loose.
2 right minus, tightens, keep in, 30.
Get the screw.
For the steering,
Yeah.
it's in the back. Okay, see what I can do.
As Mills searches for the onboard toolkit, Solberg has to drive blind with no pace notes. However, the thought of the steering wheel coming off in his hands means living without notes for a while isn't such a problem.
Okay.
Incredibly, despite these amazing scenes, the pair was second fastest on the stage, climbing to 11th place. But just look at the wheel move on the next road
Because
section.
you were getting the tools, because it's completely loose. It's difficult to see when you're driving that is loose there. I thought it was in the middle there.
I told Phil to go back in the car and get the tools, and he got the tools and we tightened it, but it was already tightened, so it was the other bolts around the steering wheel. So we drove approximately 7 kilometers without pace notes, just because of the safety, that we didn't take any risks because of the steering wheel.
The last stage, the beginning part, was so difficult for me. I couldn't find the proper gear. First and second was too short. Third, he couldn't manage anymore to climb up, and I lost time like hell. Get a little bit frustrated, make a spin, and then down I took back 12 seconds. But okay, the time I lost was too much.
Mission accomplished this morning. You managed to catch Freddie Loix.
Yeah, we passed Freddie quite convincingly. We just need to really keep the pace up now, and the times are good. Everybody's staying about the same. Marco had another good time there, but we're quite happy at the moment.
What about the complexion of the next couple of stages? We've got Latvia, that's a long one there.
No, it's probably my favourite stage in the rally, so I'm looking forward to that.
So that'll be a big Burns attack?
Every stage is, but maybe a bigger one on this one.
Stage 9, in fact, would hold mixed fortunes for the Peugeot team. Marcus Grönholm, fourth quickest on the stage, found himself elevated to third place, thanks to the misfortune of others. There were now two Peugeots in the top three, an all too familiar situation this year. As he predicted, Richard Burns set the fastest time and moved up into second place. But it wasn't all good news for the French team. Another puncture for Rovan Pera, with a run-flat moose not working this time, dropped him to second place behind Loix and Sainz.
Para fondo, derecha buena más, se abre, acaba rasante fondo, para izquierda rápida, para derecha buena más, se cierra.
Sainz and Moya hadn't enjoyed the first day, but were now engaged in a battle with Grönholm for third, and a scrap for a podium place is exactly the situation Carlos enjoys. His teammate, on the other hand, is at his happiest when he senses victory as a possibility. Second fastest on the stage, and frightening our cameraman in the process, Colin McRae thought he'd still be in second place. But when the clock stops, just look at the position which appears.
Crest 100. 6 left over crest, keep out, and 6 left over jump maybe, 100. 6 left over crest. Okay.
Next through was Loix, sixth fastest, but by now back up to fifth overall. The reason for all the changes was that the man who'd led the rally since the very first stage was in trouble.
All right, for minus left for it maybe. 6 right, crest, 4 right.
That rattle is a puncture. With 15 kilometres to go, Marco Martin has to start and change the wheel, losing 3.5 minutes in the lead. Incredibly, these two rocks might cause the damage. Marco's face said it all. What a cruel way to lose the lead, while what remained of the tyre told its own story.
No, basically we got the puncture just like that, without hitting anything, and just it was so bad that we had to stop and change it, because otherwise we would have broken the suspension and something. So it's a long way to go. So it lost many minutes, I think, because it's not so easy with that.
We've gained the lead, unfortunately. Marco had a puncture there, which could have happened to anyone. The stage condition's pretty bad, so all you can do is go as quick as you can and hope that you don't pick up a puncture.
Stage 10 was cancelled for safety reasons. The organisers concerned about the number of spectators at certain points and the number of parked cars close to the road. So the crews could head for Parnassos and service.
Nicky into the lead due to the misfortune of Marco Martin.
It is unfortunate, but a lead is a lead, and at least it's in the same team, so something to be thankful for.
The gap is very, very similar to Colin. I think we took 1 second off him over that, nearly 40 kilometres, so he's pushing very hard as well. We just got to try and do the same thing on the next two and all the stages tomorrow. It's going to be tough to beat him though.
Can you hang on to that lead? Richard said he's going to go for it.
I think he's been going for it all day, and we've been with him all the way, so of course nothing failing or nothing letting us down, I'm sure we can.
Freddie, after those problems this morning, back up to fifth, that's not bad after Latvia.
No, it's not bad at all, and we did a quite good time on the long stage, and I was very lucky to be on the finish because the last 5-6 kilometers in that stage, our all left out of shock, and we had no front left shock anymore. So I was very happy when they cancelled the next stage.
What happened on stage 9?
About 15 km after start is one Serb, and there is more ruts. Right front tires going outside the rims.
Stage 11 was the second run of the day through the box IT stage, but a lot of loose stones had been thrown up by the earlier run. The driving line, though, was a lot clearer than it had been in the morning. Marcus Gronholm almost 22 seconds faster than he'd been 7 hours before.
8 ja Vaseri miinuskirraa suppuu kivi. 7 ja Vaseri helppo.
Richard Burns lost 8 seconds to his colleague, so the gap between second and third was now down to less than 20 seconds.
Race 10 fast right plus opens. 70. Flat left. 150.
Harry Rohan Perez's front wing bore evidence of a collision, but whatever it was hadn't cost that much time. 6th fastest on the stage, the Finn was still 6th overall. So much for the Peugeots. What about the Fords? Sainz was 7th quickest, dropping over 11 seconds to the charging Gronholm, while McRae, the rally leader, was 4th fastest, taking another 5 seconds off the chasing Burns. After yesterday's performance by Martin and Boix, today's leaderboard looked a lot more familiar.
Right and left and right and 6 left opens into 6 left opens into long left.
Behind the scrap for podium places, Solberg quietly repeated the morning stage win. So, yet again it seemed it would be the Battle of Britain for victory. McRae for Ford, fighting with Burns for Peugeot.
Yours done as well, sir.
Less than a minute now covered first to 4th places, with everyone evenly spaced out, 20 seconds or so apart. The real battle, it seemed, would be between Solberg, now 8th, and Sebastian Loeb, just 4.4 seconds ahead. Devastated Marco Martin, meanwhile, was still 9th. Stage 12 was the day's last, another repeat, and so another cleaner road surface. Gronholm was clearly a man on a mission. He was over 10 seconds faster than Burns, despite overdoing things on one corner.
He does. Vasen nopea ja oikein nopea.
Burns, though, wasn't exactly hanging around, but despite going 6 seconds faster than he'd done in the morning, he'll start the final day less than 10 seconds ahead of his teammates.
In 30, medium right, tightens long.
A little of the pressure was taken off the two Peugeot drivers when Carlos Sainz lost around 40 seconds with gearbox problems.
Para derecha buena más corta, para izquierda casi tierra.
No such worries for the rally leader. Colin McRae was 4th fastest and knows he's now on the verge of taking his 5th win in Greece. Day 3's 4 stages, now all that stand in his way. Quickest on the stage was the other Ford Focus, that of the unlucky Marco Martin.
24 left into 3 plus right. Sounds like a rear-wheel drive car.
This time it was the turn of Freddie Loix to have problems. He lost around 20 seconds after breaking the axle suspension. He was still in 5th place, but day 2 hadn't gone anything like as well as day 1. Colin McRae will start the final day with a lead of over 32 seconds, while Burns will be scrapping with Gronholm in the morning. Behind the top 6, Solberg and Martin have both passed Loeb, with the others now too far back to stand any real chance of getting into the points.
For victory, no, I think we are too far away from Colin. We lost too much on the first day.
To be honest, Colin's been a fair bit quicker than us today. He's taken about 15 seconds off us over the day, so it's going to be tough to beat him tomorrow.
Colin, there's a lead of 32 seconds, enough to win this rally tomorrow.
No, not at all. No. Okay, if we have no problems, then judging on the pace today, possibly it is, but I'm sure Richard and Marcus are going to push very hard tomorrow, and it's so easy to have a problem, a puncture or anything like that, so that it's not comfortable.
We certainly need it, certainly for Colin and the manufacturers. At least it will certainly keep the championship alive, and we got the bonus in Argentina, but really, obviously, we do need a minimum of 10 points here.
So clearly, McRae and Grist know what they have to do. They were in a similar position in Cyprus in April, but threw away the win with 2 accidents on the final day. Can they do it this time? Join us tomorrow to find out.